2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday the 23rd of May, and it's World Turtle Day. And a big happy birthday to Richard Ayoade, Jewel, Bob Mortimer, and Ryan Coogler. As Russia's war in Ukraine continues, there were more missile strikes in the Mykolaiv and Donbass region, and fighting has intensified around the city of Severodonetsk. The continued blockade of the port of Odessa is also causing increasing concern about the impact on world food supplies. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken called for action from Russia.
The food supply for millions of Ukrainians and millions more around the world has quite literally been held hostage by the Russian military.
President Zelensky says 22 million tons of food are affected, and Ukraine urgently needs help to unblock its ports. Ukrainian MP Yelizaveta Yanko told Sky News that she can't believe there are still countries delaying more comprehensive oil and gas embargoes on Russia as the fighting continues. She wants to see more sanctions applied.
And it's very sad when we still have some dialogues with some European countries discussing oil and gas embargo while we are losing lives of people every day.
Russia's indicated it's ready to resume peace talks, but Ukraine's not willing to consider any ceasefire or peace deal that would concede land or territory to Russia, as Presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak explains.
Any concession to the Russian Federation absolutely means a much more powerful war in a much shorter time. Or, in other words, the postponed war.
Forget COVID-19, there's a brand new global pandemic in town. This time it's monkeypox. So far, 15 countries have announced cases of the disease, including Israel, Switzerland and Austria. It's a virus that's usually confined to Central and Western Africa, but more than 80 cases have been identified around the world in an outbreak that surprised scientists. US President Joe Biden said we should be taking it seriously.
It is something that everybody should be concerned about. We're working on it hard to figure out what we do and what vaccine, if any, may be available for.
In the UK, there have already been 20 cases, with more to be announced on Monday. The Health Security Agency's Chief Medical Advisor, Dr. Susan Hopkins, says it's usually a mild disease, but there is a risk for those with immune issues and that existing smallpox vaccines should be effective.
There's no direct vaccine for monkeypox, but we are using a form of smallpox vaccine, a third-generation smallpox vaccine that's safe in individuals who are contacts of cases. So we're not using it in the general population, we're using it in individuals who we believe are at high risk of developing symptoms.
This week is the week we finally get to see Sue Gray's report on Partygate, now that the Met Police investigation's concluded with 126 fines issued. Staff who are named in the report have received emails and had the chance to register any objections, but it emerged over the weekend that Sue Gray's also had a meeting with Boris on the report in advance of its publication. International Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan says she's no concerns about what impact that meeting might have had on the final report.
I mean, she is an extremely robust and independent woman. I'm a great fan of hers. Who she chooses to speak to about what she's going to publish is entirely up to her. I don't think for a moment in the end she would be in any way moved to change her view.
Health Secretary Nadhim Zahawi, on the other hand, got a little defensive when Sophie Ridge on Sky News pressed him on why the Prime Minister would meet with Sue Gray before the report is published anyway.
If a meeting's gone in the diary for Sue Gray and the Prime Minister to meet, I guarantee you it's not because the Prime Minister wants to influence the report. If Sue Gray meets the Prime Minister, as civil servants do...
How can you give that guarantee if you don't know what the meeting was about?
Because I have no doubt of Sue Gray's professionalism and integrity.
Because you have faith in Sue Gray?
100%.
Australia has a new leader, with Anthony Albanese sworn in as the 31st Prime Minister as the results of their general election rolled in over the weekend. It's still not clear if his Labour Party will have enough seats to hold a majority in the Parliament, with about 3 million postal votes still to be counted. New PM Albanese has already pledged to take Australia in a new direction as he gets set to take over from Scott Morrison. And one of his big focuses will be on Australia's climate policy and reinventing the country as a renewable energy superpower.
My Labor team will work every day to bring Australians together, and I will lead a government worthy of the people of Australia.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Premier League season ends with heartbreak for Liverpool, the Time Traveller's Wife's Now TV series, and Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton star in a movie about a genie in a bottle. Right after this. Welcome back.
Sunday saw the final day of the season for the Premier League with dramatic scenes at both ends of the table. Man City came back from a 2-goal deficit with 3 goals in 6 minutes, which was enough to shut the door on Liverpool and claim the Premier League title, their 4th in 5 seasons. Pep Guardiola spoke to Sky Sports from the middle of the pitch after the game, and he was pretty proud of his team.
We are legends. So when you win in this country, the Premier League, 4 times in 5 years, or 6 and 4, it's because these guys are so special. So we'll be remembered.
In the race for Champions League spots, Spurs demolished Norwich 5-0 to claim the 4th spot ahead of Arsenal and win themselves a ticket for Europe next season. Burnley were relegated after Leeds won at Brentford to save themselves. Liverpool won their game at Wolves 3-1 but still couldn't catch City, and manager Jurgen Klopp was pretty philosophical about it.
If you want to win big, you have to be ready to lose big, and that's what we did today. You have to be ready for tight decisions.
The Time Traveller's Wife's been a book, a movie and now an HBO TV series. This version stars Rose Leslie as the long-suffering wife of time traveller Theo James. It's written by Doctor Who and Sherlock showrunner Stephen Moffat, and episode 2 just dropped. Rose told The One Show how the whole thing works.
But certainly this show, it blends elements of romance, of course, and sci-fi and also reality. And so the hitch is that she never quite knows when he does time travel just how long he's going to be gone.
There's a new movie on the way from director George Miller. He's gone from Mad Max to Witches of Eastwick and Happy Feet, so you never know quite what to expect. This time it's a dark fantasy comedy drama about an academic who discovers a genie in a bottle. It stars Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba with some quite startling genie ears. It's called 3,000 Years of Longing and is due to hit cinemas this August.
There's no story about wishing that is not a cautionary tale.
We all have desires, even if they remain hidden from us. But it is your story, and I cannot wait to see where it goes.
Oh, how it might end.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.